Man, there's just so many choices. Where do I go? When you come into the grocery store, it's like sometimes it can be overwhelming with just aisle and row after row of stuff. But today we're here for something specific. IPM, Integrated Pest Management, or products. As you can see, there's quite a few products, guys. So when you go to your grocery store or garden center, depending on where you're located, you're going to have lots of selections. And it depends on the cycle or what it is you're dealing with. So the key is to identify, what type of bug am I really dealing with? If you don't know, ask or look online and get some information. But you can see there's all types of product after product after product. And I could spend a lot of time going through all of these with you, but I won't. I'm going to point out just a few that I find to be very useful for me. Now, they all have a benefit, and it depends on what it is you're addressing. One of the things I really like to do, let me point this out, is use sticky traps. If you're not using sticky traps, this is when you open these up, you'll see a grid pattern, and it's really designed so you can see the pressure in your grow room that you're dealing with. So I like to do to maximize these is I cut the seam off, and then I cut them in half, and I make 4 pieces out of it. That's how you stretch it and go further. And I put it on top of each pot so I can capture bugs and identify what type of bug I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with thrips, leaf miners, the blue attracts them more so than the yellow. The yellow still will attract them. Then you also have tapes. These are big, long tapes of a bigger situation. Then you got these ones here that go right on top of the pot itself. So the first thing is identify, what do I have that I'm dealing with? Now, if it's powdery mildew or botrytis or fusarium, those are a little different. That's really an infection you have going on in your plant, and you have to get advice on like, okay, what I'm using. Like some of you may have seen the video I just did where I had to apply BT. All right, Monterey BT. BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis subspecies Christaki strain. SA12 solids. It's a bacteria. Basically, when the caterpillar hatches, it starts to eat leaf material, and the one I showed the other day was at the top where the most, the new growth, really fresh new growth, and I found them up there. But you got to be checking your plants. But right now I'm spraying this once a week. Unless it rains, then I'll reapply it because I want to be ahead of it, because I have seen moths flying around on my plants when I'm working with them. I'll see one float away, and I'm like, you bastard, I know what you're doing. You're trying to drop some eggs somewhere. Lost Coast Plant Therapy, I'm a fan. I like it. It's an oil-based. These are the different oils in it you can see right here. You got soybean, peppermint, citric acid, isopropyl alcohol, soap, water, sodium citrate, and other organic ingredients, and non-GMO and organic. So I found this to be very helpful on all these different problems. This particular bottle makes, if you're doing just a maintenance dose at I think 1 ounce per gallon, it makes about 12 gallons of sprayable product. Unless you're going double strength, then it'll make 6 gallons. Depends if you're dealing with a problem and you're trying to get rid of it, you're going to use a different strength on these. They have it in quarts. Those are the fast sellers this time of the year. They move very quickly. And then the gallons, which are a little bit on the pricey side. Just saying, you're going to be a big dude to be playing with that shit. But I usually buy the quarts because I know I'm going to go through it anyways. And I'm probably going to apply one more time. It'll be the last time that I apply. And then I'm going to switch over to other options. I'm going to switch over to like a Flying Skull or a Dr. Zymes, the amazing Dr. Zymes. They're all out of the quarts. Again, the fast mover. They go really quick. The gallons, again, a little bit more pricey. But Nukem is an excellent one. This is by Flying Skull. This is also a citrus-based insecticide, fungicide. And one of the things I like to do is I'll look at, okay, what's the amount I've got to use? So check your directions. Always read the fucking directions, man. People go, how much do I use? Read the directions. And if you don't know what to do, read the directions. Just saying. You can see it's a citric acid. It's not an oil base. It's got water and yeast. Yeast is going to eat the spores that are landing on your leaf surface. That's a benefit. Soap, that's a surfactant. That helps it spread across the leaf surface a little bit better. I like to add just a little bit more, and I add the spread coat. The spread coat is another wetting agent. It's another surfactant, so that I like to add just a little bit more, just to make sure I'm getting good coverage. It's sodium benzenate and potassium sorbate. So excellent product. It's a 5%. The Dr. Zymes is just a little bit stronger. That is at a 9% right there. You can see that ratio right there. But excellent products. Now, the reason I'm going to shift over to a product like this, where it's citrus based, is because my flowers are starting to form, my resins are starting to pop up a little bit, and now I want to be applying a citrus base and not an oil base into my flowers. This is going to change the pH at the leaf surface. I'll probably apply this at least twice a week minimum, and maybe up to 3 times a week, depending as we get deeper into the cycle of flowering, what we're dealing with. Because you guys saw that in my last video, it shows the plants are wet in the morning, and that's from dew, and it's not from rain. Green cleaner, excellent. This came on the market. I used it a lot. Excellent product. It's similar. It has a lot of similarities to the Lost Coast plant therapy. Again, this is an option, and if you're on a budget, you can just buy the small 2-ounce and make a gallon with that. And again, this is an oil citrus-based product. It has both. So you can see here, soybean oil, sodium lauryl, sulfate, let's see, water, isopropyl alcohol, sodium citrate, and citric acid. So that's a nice blend right there. So this kills bugs and also helps you with dealing with some of your mold issues. But the list goes on. Azamax, I talked about this just recently in one of my videos. Somebody asked about neem oil, which we should have some neem up here, I'm sure. There you go. There's your neem oil right there. And you can see the ratios there. And so Azadirachtin, which is Azamax. If you're dealing with thrips, this comes in 2 different sizes. This is this a 16? 16 ounces is a little bit on the pricey side, but you can buy the smaller one. It's Azadirachtin, you can see there. That is what's going to kill them. I've had great success with that over the many years when I'm dealing with thrips. I've tried lots of products, but I found that one to be, for me, very effective. There's another one that's very effective. It's Protection Plus. This is a very strong citrus. You're going to be careful using this one. This is at 0.22, so it's twice the strength of Dr. Zyme's. But you want to make sure when you're spraying some of these products, this is a #1 tip I can say to you, make sure your plants are hydrated first. What do you mean hydrated, Joe? Glad you asked. Water them, okay? Water them and wait a couple hours so that they're full of, either nutrition or water. And then, again, make sure they're hydrated. Don't go doing it first thing in the morning, go blasting with your shit. Some of that stuff will piss them off, so you got to be careful. Always best to do a small little area and wait a little bit. Just do a little small if you're not sure, you know what I mean? But go light, don't go full strength because you say, I'm dealing with a problem, I'm just going to turn the whole fucking bottle on. Don't do that. Low and slow with anything and then work your way up to potencies. Again, you have lots of choices. IPM down here by Athena, I'm a fan. I love it. Smells good too. That's the most important part. So you can buy a nice quart of this for 59 bucks. Again, this is an oil base. Peppermint oil, lemongrass, geranium oil, citric acid, yeast, water, sodium benzenate, potassium sorbate. The only thing that's not in here is the isopropyl. Now, the thing about the isopropyl you got to be careful about if you're just starting to spray now and you're in the flower cycle, is isopropyl may have some effect on some of your resin heads, right? So they say that it, especially in the early development, we don't want to have an issue with the cuticles being affected by the isopropyl. Now the isopropyl is designed to dehydrate eggs and stuff like that, so it's definitely a benefit. But this is an excellent product. I've used this, and this they recommend on their IPM schedule, and happens that their product name is IPM. Integrated Pest Management is what it stands for you new growers. When you hear that term IPM, now you're a big shot. You know the lingo. See, that's the thing when you come into a grow store. It can be intimidating. There's all sorts of products and you don't want to sound dumb. I get it. I feel the same way. That's how I felt in the very beginning, and I just didn't open my mouth, and I should have. I should have asked more questions because there's just so many different things, and how do I use them all? That's what I'm going to unlock some of those mysteries for you guys, because I'm doing this educational series for your benefit to help spread the knowledge of how to. So a lot of these things that you see in a grow store like this, I'm going to teach you about them. What do they do? What's my benefit? So stay tuned as I do these. I'll probably do some of them on the shorts. So if you're not following the shorts, check it out, because it's just a 1 minute, 2 minute video, and it's quick. So if you just want to get a little nugget and you don't want to watch the whole video that I'm doing, like watering systems, this is all for watering systems. How do I do an automated watering system? I can teach you. I built one over here. I'll do this another time for you. I won't do it right now. I just want to get back to it. So, squirrel! If you know, you know. Sometimes we get a little carried away and we get excited about being in our favorite place. And then the head shop on the other side, oh, that's awesome. I'll show you that one too another time. But IPM, great stuff, smells good, works very effectively. They encourage you to add Stack, which is one of their kelp products, with that. So you're getting a double benefit. One is protecting the plant and also feeding the plant using the kelp, because you're foliar spraying the plant and you're going to get absorption. Some organic options down here: Regalia, Venerate, Granvendale. Hopefully I pronounced that right. These are all natural products here that can be used to get the plant to think it's being attacked by bugs, so it strengthens itself, and then there's also other benefits. I don't use those currently. I did use the Regalia for a period of time to try it out. Not a bad product at all, but you know, sometimes you get hung up on the ones you know that work, because I had a subscriber ask recently, what is your favorite? I'm like, ooh, that's not easy. They're all great products for if you're dealing with a certain thing, right? This is the dead bug one is great. This is spinosad. So let's see if I get you up there so you guys can see that. So spinosad basically disrupts their nervous system in the little bugs. That's a great product too, again, depending on what you're dealing with. Copper fungicide. Let's see what else. Mammoth, flying skull, Monterey's, all the different products in Monterey's, the safer products if you're doing houseplants and stuff like that. So there's lots of choices. It really depends on what are you dealing with and what is the right choice for you and what's in your budget, you know, because some of these can get pretty pricey and you go like, ouch, that's a lot of that. You know, I love my weed and everything, but that's just expensive. There's lots of options. Like if you're dealing with spider mites, some of you guys that are watching, you've dealt with spider mites, right? Oh yeah. Well, let me tell you, spider mites are probably one of the harder ones. There's lots of hard ones, but it's a hard one because when the spider mite dies, the adult female is pregnant already. It's born that way. It's going to release its eggs, and 3 days later, they're going to hatch. And you're like, I thought I got rid of them all, and they're back again. Well, the application, like I always recommend, do a fogger. This is a pyrethrin fogger, right? So the pyrethrin, you'll see that right there. All right, it says your pyrethrin. You're going to fog the room, but you've got to do this 5 times. You let it all, you know, depending on the size of your room, there's different sizes here. The Dr. Doom works really good. I've seen this work many, many times. So, and there's other products you can use, but this is going to fog your entire tent or your room. Make sure all your vents are shut off. There's a specific protocol you want to follow with this, but when I trigger this and I set it off, 3 days later, what did I just say? The eggs hatch. I'm setting another one off. Okay, cool. 3 days later, what am I doing? You got it right. You're on it, man. I'm releasing another one and another one. I'm going to do this 5 times. It's going to take 14 days, 15 days actually. Every 3 days, I'm going to do 5 applications, and that's how you're going to eradicate your spider mites. That's just one technique. There's others. Fungus gnats. Some of you guys deal with fungus gnats. They're a pain in the fucking balls. I hate those little fuckers. Of course, having sticky traps, definitely beneficial because you keep the adults down. Here's another thing you can use, this fungus gnat larvae. You can use these pellets or you can use the pucks. The pucks are usually designed for standing water and stuff like that, but you can take those, snap them in half. I take one, I snap it in half, and I rub them together on top of my pots. I did that for a few years and it worked well. But then I discovered, oh, wait a minute, I can just buy it in the pellets. And now this is another bacteria. Let's just see here. Bacillus thuringiensis subspecies iricelensis strain. It's a different strain. By the way, you guys know we call our weeds strains. Hey, what strain are you growing, man? Or strands. Some people call it strands. You're saying it wrong. Bro, it's not a strand. It's a strain. But technically, cannabis is not a strain. They're cultivars, cultivated variety. Strains are actually bacteria. There it is right there. It says strain, right? Just a little fun fact. You learned this along the way. I didn't know. It was a period of time. I had no idea. Calling it a strand, a strain, I don't know. It was weed to me. It was either good weed or it was good earth. Right? But anyways, you can sprinkle these on the top of your pots, and these will attack the larvae and help diminish the amount of fungus gnats you're dealing with. But definitely having the sticky traps, definitely beneficial. Crawling animals, diatomaceous earth, those are diatoms. Those are ancient fossilized little diatoms basically, and they're like little razor blades. It's a white powder. You can't see it unless you got you know, a microscope to look at it, but they're like little shards and they're like razor blades, and when the bugs crawl on them, it kills them, right? And those that are like ants and stuff, they breathe from underneath. That's not good for them. So diatomaceous earth is definitely a thing for sure. But guys, as you can see, I can spend a lot of time going through all these different products and how it's going to benefit you. As a guard, excellent. A little bit pricey. This is for the commercial grows. This is not for the home grow. So when you see the price, you'll shit yourself. It's not for you. Xeritol, that's an excellent one there. Xeritol is a peristolic acid along with peroxide, if I recall. It's been a little while. This is a good product to use if you're dealing with some issues like powdery mildew in the outdoors and stuff. Let's just see here. Yeah, hydrogen peroxide at 5.34%. I'm probably saying it wrong, so don't murder me over it. Peroxoxic acid. I'm definitely saying it wrong, but you can see it there. That basically keeps it in solution as far as the peroxide. So let me just pause this thing here. The other phone's ringing. It can wait just for a minute because you guys are impotent for me right now. All right, so again, I could, like I said, spend a lot of time going through all these different things. So go to your local grow store, ask the grower on site or the owners, hey, what do you recommend? And if not, go to a garden center that's near you. They're going to have similar products. Might not have such a selection, but there's lots of great choices. And for me, I have 3 or 4 go-tos that I know work. They work for me. I got results. They're not overly priced. And again, I get those results. All right, guys, I gotta get going. I got some shopping to do. I got some products to look for, some organic stuff, and yeah, getting prepared for the flower season more so, and looking at different things I can add into the the bloom cycle. Anyways, all right, I gotta go, guys. And as always, may those resins bless your bowl. Peace, happy growing. Don't forget, sharing, well, it's truly caring. See you.